being lazy, and not doing what I should have done. Not using my home as a stepping stone toward further freedom. I know what I'm going to be doing the next day usually. When I was downtown, I never did. Every day was just drinking. I know now I don't have to worry about being out on the streets again. I feel comfortable here. It's a sanctuary sort of thing, being stable. It's been a tool, a foundation to help me get things done, like get my ID together finally. Get those little things together, those little things that are very important. I've been able to get my tickets, like first aid, confined space, that sort of thing. I wouldn't like being out on the streets. It's hard to coordinate things. It's hard to do. It's nice having a phone, knowing what's going on. I like that.
Having my own home is important. And if I were to lose my place, I would be so mad at myself because it would be my fault that it happened. There are lots of kids here. There are lots of kids around here that like to play in this area. Like on the weekend, all the kids are out playing with my girl. I have a friend that lives 2 buildings over, the townhouses. And just knowing that I can sit here and read a book and look out the window and keep an eye on my girl, it's just safe, you know? It's not like what we're used to. So housing first, they've put us in a good place.
Here, it's less crazy, but it can even feel a little lonely. I mean, I know I have a roof over my head, but I don't have to wait in line anymore. It's comfortable here, it's peaceful. And only another, say, 10 years and that'll be it, and if I haven't got it together yet by then, I'm gonna end up like one of those poor old buggers sitting on the sidewalk there, sitting on my ass, begging for money like it's pissing down rain or snowing sideways. It's not even logical. Like, I'd rather just end it.
I actually joined our community league. I volunteered for them a couple of times, and it was surprising to me too because I don't usually do that. It felt good. That's a sense of belonging right there, especially being of Native ancestry. I want them to know that I belong, that I'm not another Native person who's walking through the alleys looking for whatever. I'm proud of being there. I'm proud that I can live there. And for the first time in a long time, I actually have no complaints.
Well, just over the years, I've had trouble managing my money, you know? But I've slowly learned that my son's getting older now, so I need to take more responsibility. Not that I didn't before. I mean, he's been with me the whole time, you know? It's just, with the help of Housing First, I know I can do it, eh? Like, my Housing First worker offered to meet with me. Well, at first I said once a month, but I think I'm gonna try to go for every 2 weeks, you know? And hopefully we can do that. I mean, that'd be cool if we can do that, but yeah. But like I said, it's just me and Housing First because I need that support, you know?
Same. I get support from my worker. She's not judgmental. She listens, she helps. She doesn't decide for me. She always comes and asks. She always comes and asks, would you like to do this? Or how about doing it like this? Just suggestions, recommendations. Then I get to really make the decision. She's been there for me. She does a great job.
I can think about the future, and there's things that you could do now that you could never do when you're homeless. And I think that's the reason why I never, what would you say, never stayed straight. Is because I really didn't have anything to look forward to. Sure, I got my place and everything, but after I got my place, it was like, well, okay, what now? What do I do now? There are two different kinds of workers. Ones that help getting people into a home, and then another worker that continues working with you after you've gotten your place.
Well, First Nations are, a lot of us seem to have this chip, seem to have this permanent chip on our shoulders. I don't deal well with social services. Every time I go there, they want me to have a rent form or something like that, or I have to have a job. Or at Jasper Place and Housing First, they never ask me those questions. They're a group of friendly people who've had issues in the past with addictions and substance abuse. And they just don't hold that against anybody.
You know, I think about it this way. If I were to go down the road of addictions again, I would be a mess. I would lose my place. I'd lose my daughter, and, well, if I lost my daughter, I'd pretty well just want to give up. But like I said, I've come too far, and I've got places I want to go, so I can't let my addictions win. There's no way I'm gonna let that happen.
When I've had the worst day, like the worst day, the worst possible day I could possibly have, and all I can think about is having a drink, I text. Do you know how badly I want to drink? Do you know how badly I want to go get high? I just text my worker. I gotta do something, because people don't like it when you're praying and ranting and raving out loud in public, so I'll just keep texting my worker till I get over it. They need a program. A volunteer who teaches a program where people learn how to conduct themselves. How to conduct themselves in public, how to talk to people, what expectations are from people. Because most of my street friends, they don't know how to conduct themselves in an appropriate fashion.
The staff need to dig deep, to throw all the name calling, all the swearing aside, and to overlook that, see through them, and see that they're dealing with human beings that have emotions, and it's not directed at the staff. Their anger is directed at, maybe at the white race, maybe at culture, maybe at our society. I don't know if having more Aboriginal people in support positions would help. I think that would make the biggest difference because, like I said before, I'm an addict who wants to stay clean and sober. But like me, some Aboriginal people might not. They might still have the anger towards white people. So that might immediately be a barrier right there, right? I don't know if that would make a difference or not, What they need are people with a backbone, people with character too. Because you need a lot of character to maintain this job. And you have to love us. You really have to love us to help us. And it has to be unconditional love.
Well, I just think we're all happier. I think that's really important. I think that's what needs to be said, just that we're pretty close to where we want to be, you know? And that, well, other than small problems and everyone's got them, I think we're doing pretty well and, you know, we're happier.
Yeah. It's so hard to, without any help. Lots of people can't pick themselves back up when they're down. It's really hard when you're battling addictions.
It's been a wonderful program. I don't know where I'd be without it, to be honest. It's overwhelming a little bit because we'll have a very nice home now, and I'm very happy. And none of this would have been possible without Housing First. I would recommend this program to anybody, as long as they don't take advantage of it, like, you know, screwing it up for others in the future.
I can think about the future and what I can do now that I could never do when I was homeless. Sometimes in addiction, I would go with somebody, not because I loved them or wanted to be with them. It was a chance to live somewhere without having to pay rent and not having to. So the relationship was shallow from the beginning and didn't have a chance to grow and become something. But the Creator wouldn't have put man and woman on this earth if we weren't meant to join together at some point and grow together. I've been thinking a lot about that.
I've been unemployed for a few years now, and I just don't got the tickets and stuff. I guess when people look at my work history, they say, what's this guy been doing for the last 3-4 years? Obviously, he's not been working. So it's kind of, that's a struggle, I guess. But yeah, it's like just the employment is a big thing. Like a lot of people, they don't have that yet. They just too busy focusing on surviving. My long-term goal is to get a pardon, which I qualify for this year, and go back to house painting because I enjoy it and I'm good at it.
Well, I just want to go out and do stuff now. You know, I know things are possible now that I can do it. Raising my son in a home instead of like at my sister's or somebody else's, it's our home.
I want a truck. I don't want a brand new one. I want something I can fix, an older model that I can fix, one I know how to fix. And when I was younger, I used to be able to repair all my vehicles. If I didn't know something, I'd just go down to the library, look at the manual, like read the manual, and then go home and fix it, or take it out of the library. It's just the way it was.
These things that I dreamed about, I realized I was actually living them out. Just sort of happened, I guess, because of the stability and talking to other people like me.
Well, you know what I notice about life? You just never know. Sometimes things can go really, really good, and then something goes wrong. What just happened? It's happened to me many, many times before. So that's why I say, don't count your chickens before they hatch. In my younger days, I used to say I'd be married and I'd have $1 million by the time I was 25. Well, that didn't happen, so just as long as I don't end up back on the streets.
Without being part of this program, I would have never been able to have this opportunity. To be in the position I am today, Housing First has been a lifesaver for me.
I'm starting to realize that, yeah, I'm not supposed to just take. Hopefully, I'll succeed through this housing program and others will see that. Others will sign up. To me, that's what I'm doing it for, is basically for the younger generations. So they see if this old man can do it, they can. I was just about the oldest one. I was the oldest one in my class. Makes me feel good too, them looking up to me. Of course, it made me feel kind of old too, but it's good to see that the young people were looking up and saying, oh yeah. First, they thought I was one of the instructors, and then I said, no, I'm taking a course. It surprised them that an older person would actually go back and retrain. So hopefully they'll follow through and do the same thing. What I want them to see is not to wait so damn long. I want them to go back, get work, because they can. It's taken me so many years to realize that.
I could start from scratch tomorrow if I had to. I would do it all over again if I had to, with the attitude that I have now, because I know I can do it. You can't keep everyone down all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.